Some days, the best thing about doing this video report is taking a look into the camera and going, damn, Just for Men really did its job today. I mean, just a perfect application, if I do say so myself. Hey, everyone, Al DeMarco here. It is Christmas Eve. If you happen to be traveling today, I wish you safe travels and a happy holiday season. There are games tomorrow, so I will be here. Maybe not you, but I will be here on Christmas Day as well. You know, when I think about Christmas Eve all the time, it isn't about spending time with family. Yeah, that's part of it. In fact, everybody's coming up to my house here in a couple of hours after doing this video report. Only 10 people total, but that's the extent of my family and my wife's family nowadays. There's just nobody else left. Hope my son marries into a big family. I really do. But I always think of Christmas Eve because in college, my favorite job, in fact, if I had to go back and say my favorite job ever, it's not this. It's not when I was a sports reporter. It's not all the boxing beats that I covered. Nope. My favorite job ever was a job that I had the third year in college because I had saved all the toughest courses for this particular semester, my junior year. And the two big ones were investigative reporting, which was just a time-consuming SOB, and a TV performance course, which the head, the president of the communications school that I went to at Temple, was in charge of. And he also was very influential in the internship program. So I thought, I got to really impress him. So at that point, I stopped selling audio and video equipment. I thought, I've got to get a job, just have a little pocket change, but I've got to have an easy job that isn't too much of a demand on my time because I was working full time. So those of you that are familiar to the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, you may remember there used to be a big Philadelphia-based department store chain called Wanamaker's. So I got a part-time job at Wanamaker's. And they put me in to the gourmet candy section. Yes, we had this huge gourmet candy counter at the time. Whole gourmet section, everything that you could buy from quiche to God knows what that was imported candy. But there was myself, the woman that ran the place, the candy counter. She was a grandmother with an Austrian accent by the name of Marta, who was a MILF and a cougar, I think, before they invented the terms, and a couple other girls that worked part-time, and me. Now, I type 140 plus words a minute. You can only imagine how fast I was when it came to ringing sales. And I always liked juggling in sales, 3 or 4 people at a time. So to have candy counter lines that were 7 or 8 deep as you approached the Christmas holiday, it was like not uncommon. If you can picture, guys, in my previous life, making cute little assortments of candies, putting them in the box, laying them out nicely, wrapping them, putting the bow on top, and then handing it to the customer because free gift wrapping was included. I made some masterpieces when it came to my candy displays. But again, the best part about this job, everybody was a part-timer. So you were working with a bunch of college kids that you instantly became friends with. And basically, the store closed at 10. And by 10:15, we were at our favorite club or bar every single night from Thanksgiving on. And then Christmas Eve came. And it was like you knew the end had come. Most of the seasonal employees were soon going to be gone. There was no more celebrating. And it was kind of like a bummer. Christmas Eve was kind of a downer because I got to go home and do the family thing. There's nothing left. But as years go by, that's my favorite memory and still my favorite job. I wonder if they pay well. I wonder if department stores still have candy counters. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a future in it. Maybe I can have a candy counter and do handicapping on the side. I don't know. Hey, listen, guys, Trace Adams has made you a fortune here the past couple of days, and you've saved a fortune in the process because he has been red hot. Normal top-rated 1,000-star plays. Well, he's had to raise the bar 1,500-star winners. Started with Ohio in College Bowl action on Saturday. Then Western Kentucky over South Florida on Monday. Toledo upsetting Temple on Tuesday. Yesterday, Boise State over Northern Iowa, Northern Illinois. Hell, they could have beat Northern Iowa and Northern Illinois at the same time the way they played yesterday. And you got all 3 of those plays at huge discounted prices. In fact, you paid just $24 and won them all. Today, he's going for winning day number 6 in a row, but he has a play that's even stronger. It's his double your wager 2,000-star winner, number 10 out of 13. The Chargers-Raiders game tonight, just as strong as his 2,000-star winner on the Vikings crushing Chicago on Sunday. And you get it you get it for half price off simply by using coupon code TRACE, T-R-A-C-E. Little heads up for you. Anthony Redd, who's coming off bowl winners with Western Kentucky, Akron, and Georgia Southern the past 3 days, has a 75-dime winner, number 23 out of 33, and a 4th in a row on the same side as Trace Adams does tonight. The other big featured play tonight, the game that I'm going to give you a free selection on, courtesy of Chris Jordan. Normally, again, a 1,000-star play is his top-rated selection. He's coming off his 500-star bowl winner yesterday Boise State and Northern Illinois over. You got it for the 777 triple play. 2 nights ago, he had his 500-star. He had an 800-star play with Akron outright over Utah State. And today, 2,000-star double your wager bowl game of the year. 11-5 roll with 2,000-star releases the past few years in all sports. And with 1,000-star plays, $1 bettors have won a little over $88,000 since 2006 in all sports. You get it for over half price off his biggest bowl play of the season by using coupon code DOUBLE, DOUBLE. Now, let's get to your complimentary play. I think the Cincinnati-San Diego State game is an interesting one to look at and to handicap and to bet on because both teams have situations with their quarterbacks that are going to affect the game. Now, you know, Tommy Tuberville, early this season, started flipping back and forth between his quarterbacks. Well, Gunnar Kyle or Gunnar Keel? I can't remember now. Isn't that awful? Who had started the majority of games and had some prolific passing performances. He is going to miss today's bowl game because of personal reasons. So that means the redshirt freshman who replaced him and started a number of games as well when Tuberville was alternating back and forth between quarterbacks, the redshirt freshman Hayden Moore is going to start today. Now, if you look at his overall numbers, 1,600 yards passing, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, you can't be real impressed because there was no consistency. And that's also what you got when he played at times this season. I mean, third game of the season, the regular quarterback got hurt, so he comes in as a reserve. It was against Miami of Ohio on the road. And Miami of Ohio, an awful team, right? 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter for Moore. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, yet he scored the game-winning touchdown to give them a 4-point, I think, 37-33 road win, right? Then the two games later, he comes in against Memphis. He started that game. A school record 557 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and he was dynamite on the ground. They lost the game 53-46, but he certainly was influential. A couple games later, they go to BYU. He gets sacked 8 times. They lose that game. So you never know what you got when Moore was in the lineup. Now, for San Diego State, their starting quarterback, Maxwell Smith, who really epitomizes a game manager, if you want to say, in college football as the quarterback. The guy who used to play at Kentucky. He suffered a torn ACL in the regular season finale against Nevada. And naturally, he left the game, and they came in and they replaced him with a redshirt freshman, Christian Chapman. Now, he's a little better thrower, but he's certainly more mobile than Smith is. Well, in relief against Nevada, he was 6 for 9 for 44 yards. Then he started the Mountain West title game against Air Force, 9 for 14, 203 yards passing, another 32 yards rushing. They didn't cover that game, San Diego State, but they won their 8th straight game by beating Air Force by a field goal in that contest. Smith, rather than have surgery, decided to go ahead and try to rehab his knee to a certain point so he would be able to play today. Now, whether he plays at the time I'm doing this report, which is 2 o'clock Eastern time, nobody knows. He wants to try to play. Listen, I don't know why the guy is trying to play, and I don't know why San Diego State is going to try to let him play. You're playing with a torn ACL. Can you damage it more? I don't know. I mean, maybe not. But you also have to wonder, how effective is it going to be? Now, it's not like Smith is going to be required to do a lot because playing behind a massive offensive line that gives great pass protection, San Diego State just blows away opposing defenses because they open so many holes for their ground game, which is one of the best in the nation. They have 2 running backs, Donnell Pumphrey, who's already run for 1,554 yards and 26 touchdowns, and Chase Price, his super sub backup, who's run for 940 yards and averaged 5.3 yards a carry. So they are a run-first team anyway. But is Smith going to bog things up? I mean, is Smith not going to start? And then, who I hope would play, Chapman? If I knew for sure, I'd bet San Diego State tonight. Seriously, I would. If I knew there was no hesitancy regarding the quarterback situation for the Aztecs. Because not only is San Diego State a good defensive team, they only give up 287.9 yards a game and about 111.2 yards rushing. But again, this team should be able to run through massive holes opened by their offensive line against one of the most porous defenses in the country. This Cincinnati defense gave up 502 yards a game this year. They gave up almost 191 yards on the ground per game. They gave up a little over 32 points per game. Opposing running backs averaged 5.2 yards per carry. The second secondary was scorched. 21 touchdowns allowed, only 8 interceptions. And as an overall team, you got San Diego State, #1 in the nation in terms of turnover margin. You have Cincinnati ranked 124th in the nation in turnover margin. That's the discrepancy between these two teams when it comes to their defense. And it also shows you the discrepancy between how San Diego State controls the ball on offense and doesn't on, and Cincinnati doesn't on offense. San Diego State's going to be able to run huge amounts of time off the clock. And that's going to be their best defense ultimately today, because the more you keep Cincinnati's quick strike offense off the field, the better you are. Didn't that work for Georgia Southern? I wish I had thought about that even further last night when Georgia Southern did the same thing against a better Bowling Green offense than even Cincinnati is going to bring to the table today. So the line is certainly close as you can possibly get, right? San Diego State, a 3-point favorite, maybe 3.5. I would say go ahead and play San Diego State. Again, if I knew who exactly was going to start for quarterback tonight for the Aztecs, I would definitely be on the Aztecs tonight at 3, 3.5, even 4. Again, I'm going to always buy down the half point when that line crosses 3, 4, 7, and even sometimes 10. Well, that'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all. Enjoy the day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.